Have you ever walked out of a meeting thinking, why didn't I say it better? That was Mira. Smart, capable, but every time she spoke, her ideas came out sounding flat. Not because she didn't know what to say, but because she didn't have the right words to say it. Until one day, she stumbled on a single idea. You don't need 100 new words, you need one. She chose resilient. It wasn't obscure, it wasn't poetic, but it mattered. She explored its meaning, to spring back, to adapt, to stand firm when everything else crumbles. Then came Monday, a tough project, all eyes on her. And Mira said, "This week tested us, but our team was remarkably resilient." One word, but it changed how people listened. What's your word? Drop it in the comments. Let's build your voice one word at a time.
Have you ever walked out of a meeting thinking, why didn't I say it better? Why did my words feel empty? That was Mira. Smart, capable. But every time she spoke, her ideas came out sounding flat. Not because she didn't know what to say, but because she didn't have the right words to say it. Not because she didn't know what to say, but because she didn't have the right words to say it. Until one day, she stumbled on a single idea. You don't need 100 new words. You need one. Until one day, she saw it. A video promising just one thing. Elevate your vocabulary with one word. One word. One deep dive. One transformation. She chose resilient. It wasn't obscure. It wasn't poetic. But it mattered. She explored its meaning, to spring back, to adapt, to stand firm when everything else crumbles. She wrote it, whispered it, used it in sentences, made it hers. Then came Monday. A tough project. All eyes on her. And Mira said, "This week tested us, but our team was remarkably resilient." Silence, then nods. The words landed and stuck. One word. But it changed how people listened. This is how real vocabulary grows. Not with word lists, not with flashcards, but with intention, with context, with meaning. One word, one week, one new voice yours. What's your word? Drop it in the comments. Let's build your voice one word at a time.
Welcome to the podcast. We're diving into something that really speaks to anyone who's ever struggled to find the right word in a meeting or conversation.
Absolutely. There's that moment when your ideas are on fire inside, but your words, well, they just fall flat, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you feel you've got a battleship of ideas, but your vocabulary is just a fleet of rowboats, barely keeping up.
Haha. Oh yeah, that's a great analogy. And it's not that you lack intelligence, it's all about getting the right tools to express yourself.
Right. And here's the twist. Instead of cramming through endless word lists, imagine focusing on just one impactful word at a time.
Yeah. So you're saying, instead of trying to memorize pulchritudinous or ephemeral the everyday way, we pick one word that really changes how we think and express ourselves.
Exactly. The idea is to take one word, let's say, for instance, overcome, and then really dive into its layers. Not just learning its definition, but exploring its nuances, its family of synonyms and antonyms, its collocations, and even how it feels emotionally.
Yeah, that makes it a whole new experience. Right. Instead of having a superficial grasp on 50 words, you construct a deep, interconnected mental map around one key word, which then makes learning related words in that network a breeze.
Exactly. And there's so much value in that approach. It's not about sounding ostentatious or trying to impress people at high-pressure moments. It's about truly integrating that word into your active vocabulary so that it becomes a natural part of your self-expression.
Absolutely. It reminds me of that feeling when you walk out of a meeting and think, why didn't I say it better? And then you realize, if only I had the right word.
Yes, that feeling of regret, like your ideas were heroic, but your words were just nice or okay, instead of capturing the full impact. And that's what this technique addresses.
It's so relatable. I've seen it time and again, where your words don't match your inner passion. And then you have that mental breakthrough when you start using words with depth.
Right. The process starts with choosing a resonant word that's highly useful, one that's a sort of Swiss Army knife in your vocabulary toolbox.
Exactly. And the word should be one that feels aspirational and practical. Not just something obscure or overly fancy that never sees the light of day in daily conversation.
Yes, absolutely. For example, overcome is perfect because it resonates with the idea of facing challenges head-on, and it's something you can use in so many contexts, from professional setbacks to personal struggles.
Yeah. I like that word because it combines the sense of struggle and triumph. It's like you're not just beating a challenge, you're climbing over it.
Right. It's like a mini epic in a word. And here's why it's important. By really understanding overcome, you can also unlock its relatives. Think about synonyms like conquer and surmount.
Yeah, exactly. And each carries its own flavor. Conquer might feel more militaristic, while surmount hints at that physical action of climbing over. But sometimes I wonder, doesn't that stress being too meticulous? I mean, do we really need to dissect one word so deeply?
That's a fair question. I mean, at first glance, it might seem like overkill, but by doing so, you're not just memorizing a definition. You're building a whole network around it. Its connotations, antonyms like succumb or capitulate, and collocations that will help you choose the right word effortlessly in different contexts.
I see your point. It sounds like you're constructing a personal linguistic blueprint. It also makes me think of how our brains work better with stories and connections, not dry data points.
Exactly. It's all connected. And another key element here is practice. You don't just learn the word and then forget it. The idea is to use it in simple sentences and then build complexity over a sort of sentence ladder.
Yeah, like starting simple and then adding more details as you get comfortable. Right. So you might begin with a basic sentence like, I will overcome this. Then you add context. Our team worked late to overcome unexpected budget cuts. And then, eventually, a more personal account.
Yeah, exactly. That progression is crucial. It reinforces the word's meaning every single time you use it, making it feel natural. Plus, the repetition isn't just about memorization, it's about internalization.
Exactly. And the best part is, once one word is solidly anchored, that not only boosts your confidence, but also opens the door to learning many related words by association.
Yes, it's like a domino effect. Instead of scattering 1,000 isolated bricks, you build a whole wing of your vocabulary. It's a sustainable process.
Now let's talk about the practical side of it. How do we integrate this into our daily routine? It sounds awesome in theory, but what are the steps?
Great question. First, you become what I'd call a word curator. This means being attentive, jotting down that one word that really catches your attention when it's used in a sentence or a conversation.
Yeah. And then, what do you do with that word? Just study it in isolation?
Nothing like that. You do something like a deep dive. Start by looking it up in the dictionary, but then go beyond. Study its etymology, its synonyms, antonyms, even its emotional tone. It's like an archaeological dig where you unearth every layer.
That imagery really makes it come alive. You're not just learning a word, you're exploring its history and even its soul.
Exactly. And then you practice integrating it into your daily language. Use it in emails, texts, or even in the mirror before a big presentation. The physical act of saying the word is just as important as understanding it fundamentally.
And that reminds me of that tip about speaking out loud in a private space, like in your car or the shower. It really helps to get your mouth used to that new sound.
Right? Exactly. And when you start feeling comfortable using it, your confidence naturally builds. As you share stories, maybe like how Mira transformed her meeting by using the word resilient, that's a transformative moment.
Yeah, that anecdote really underscores the impact. Absolutely. Mira's story is a perfect example. Instead of saying something bland like, "We got through it," She highlighted the team's strength by saying they were resilient. It's subtle, but powerful.
Precisely. And that moment, when her language resonated and the room acknowledged it, shows that the right word can redefine how you and others feel about an experience.
And it somehow transforms a routine conversation into a more meaningful narrative. But I do wonder, is focusing on one word enough to eventually build a truly expansive vocabulary?
That's a great challenge. I think it's less about breadth and more about depth. When you know one word inside out, it sparks connections, almost like a network effect. Before you know it, you're familiar with dozens of associated words.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's like planting a seed that eventually grows into a whole garden of language.
Exactly. And eventually, these small steps, these micro anchors, compound over time. You could be doing one deep dive a week, and over the course of a year, you'll have internalized 50 or more words that truly enrich your vocabulary.
That's a pretty solid transformation. From feeling like your language is threadbare to having a fully furnished linguistic toolkit.
Absolutely. And it all starts with choosing that one right word, something high in utility, resonant with your personal or professional goals, and just a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And let's not forget the challenge for our listeners. Pick one word, deep dive into it, practice it until it becomes second nature, and then share it with others. That's where real growth happens.
Yes, whether it's overcome, resilient, or another word that speaks to you, the key is intention. It's about building your voice one word at a time.
Absolutely, yeah. So, to wrap it up, the journey to a more articulate and confident you doesn't lie in memorizing endless lists. It lies in deeply understanding and integrating one word at a time into your everyday language.
Right on. And the beauty is, as you develop this practice, your entire thinking process sharpens because you're using a richer, more precise palette of words. It's like upgrading your mental operating system, one component at a time.
That really sums it up. I love how it's both a practical and a personal approach to learning language in a way that sticks.
Exactly. Thanks for being a great conversational partner today. Remember, listeners, your journey to elevated vocabulary starts with the choice of just one word. Get out there, pick your word, and make it yours.
And don't be shy. Share it in the comments or talk it out with a friend. Here's to building your voice, one word at a time.
That's all for now. Until next time, keep exploring, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep speaking with confidence.